Welcome to our deep relaxation class.
Hello and namaste. My name is Brian and I'll be your facilitator for today's deep relaxation offering. You can find a whole list of our other classes on our library YouTube channel at libraryccpl.org. Library CCPL is the thing you can search. You could also go to the library's website, the Eldersburg Carroll County Library website, and find a list of future offerings if you want to book something live for next time. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you do have a couple of blocks, we're going to use those in our opening sequence. So when you're ready, you can join me in this comfortable seated position, and we'll go ahead and get going. We'll just begin by taking another minute or so to just really get settled into the seat. I like to sit up on a cushion, something to elevate my hips over my knees. For me and my body, that makes this a lot more comfortable and sustainable. For you, you might enjoy just sitting on the floor, on some blocks, or at the edge of a chair if that's better suited for you. So once you've arrived and made the adjustments for your comfortable seat, just simply sit up tall. You can gently pick up the shoulders and then retract the scapula. You can experiment with palms on the lap or on the knees, face up or face down. Just start to make those little fine-tuned adjustments to make this custom fit for your best, most comfortable seat. Sit up tall, pressing down into your sitting bones, simultaneously lengthening your spine and lifting the crown of the head. Try and find that balance between ease and effort as you create a stable, comfortable seat here. When you arrive in that comfortable seat, just start to track your breath without trying to modify your breath. Just observe what your breath feels like and sounds like. How is it measured? Do you feel it in your chest or in your belly? Just take that information, gather that data, and just observe. Great big part of yoga and a great big aspect of this deep relaxation offering is entering into this state of consciousness, which I like to call the non-judgmental observer or the witness. I just want you to observe and study the biofeedback, all those different little cues you get from your physical body, anything that might come up for you mentally or emotionally during class. Just observe the stuff that arises non-judgmentally, and just take it and save it to analyze later if you wish. Otherwise, just do your best and be present while we're here together for this next little bit of time. We'll now move into just a few intentional breaths. All together, let's take a nice big breath out. You can keep your eyes closed or you can gently look towards me if you prefer. And just exhale completely out your nose or mouth, your choice. Hold the breath out just a moment. And then inhale, lift your hands up and overhead, palms facing one another. Reach up long through your arms, and then relax the shoulders down and press the palms away from one another. We're going to do this 4 more times. Big breath in. Let your inhalation flood up into the fingertips. And then exhale, press the palms firmly away, slowly draping them towards the floor. Let the fingertips rest at the peak of your exhalation. Feel that emptiness a moment. And then inhale, repeat. 3. Exhaling 3. Inhaling 2 more times. Exhaling at your own pace, that second time. 1 more time on your own, whenever you're ready. Good. Now, if you have that block, go ahead and pick that block up and bring it in between your hands and press your hands firmly into that block. Sit up tall And then just start to press that block over to the left side of your chest. So I'm not creating a mirror image of you. I'm also pressing the block over to my left side. So you're just going to continue to press. Keep your elbows lifted so that your forearms are parallel to the floor. Keep pressing the hands firmly together, but not so much that it hurts your wrists. And then just gently look over your right shoulder. It's like you were looking over your shoulder to make sure there was no traffic coming up behind you in that right lane. Take a big look over. Stretch with the eyes. And then slowly bring the head, neck back to center. Switch. Bring the hands over to the right. Forearms parallel to the floor, elbows lifted, hands spread wide, pressing firmly into that block. And then just gently look over your left shoulder. Stretch with your eyes. Head and neck back to center. Hands back to center, block to center. And now go ahead and just press those hands out with that block. And then bring those hands back in. Do that 3 more times. Press the hands firmly together. Shoulders drawing back and down. And then slowly back in. Twice more. Feel that activate those muscles in the chest. One more time if you wish. And then slowly just set that block down a moment. Now this time bring the hands together, lift the elbows, press the hands a little bit further over to the left this time. And now just simply start to drop right ear towards right shoulder. You're going to feel the big stretch in this left side of the neck. You can gently tuck the chin. Just invite some micro movements in the jaw and neck. Stretching carefully here. Remembering to breathe, let your breath be slow and steady. Maybe breathing in for a count of 3 or 4. And then exhaling for a count of 4 or more if you can. When you're ready, bring head and neck to center, hands to center, pause. If you need to shake out the hands, you can. And then when you're ready, sit up tall, hands together. Press the hands over to the outer right edge of your chest. Gently drop left ear to left shoulder. Make your best effort. Then just explore some little micro movements, maybe a gentle nod, yes, or a tilt with the chin over to the left. Head and neck back to center, hands back to center. Gently release the hands down. We'll take a little seated twist to close our seated warm-ups here. Inhale, reach both hands up high to the sky. Exhale, twist over to your left, twisting up from the navel, up through the ribs, up through the chest, and then slowly lower the hands down. Right hand will cross over left leg, and you might just be on the fingertips of that left hand behind you. Keep the shoulders level, keep them flat, keep them relaxed. Let the shoulders stay back and down, and then complete your twist with a little look over that left shoulder. Slowly bring the head and neck back to center, face forward, lift the hands up and overhead, return to center with the torso and hands. Exhale, let the hands rest in front of the chest. Inhale, reach the hands up high once again. Slowly twist over to the right. Twist, twist, twist through the belly button, ribs, chest, head, and neck, and then drop the hands down. Left hand coming across to right leg. Maybe just staying on the fingertips of that right hand behind you. Shoulders relax back and down. As you inhale, sit up a little taller, pressing down through your seat. lifting up through the head. And exhale, see if you can twist even a centimeter more. Slowly bring head and neck back to center. Lift hands, twist through torso. Bring yourself back to center. Exhale, hands rest in front of the chest. We're going to go ahead and come on to our mats now, on our hands and knees here. We're going to come into a little bird dog action just to create some core stability and create a little warmth through our body here. So from your hands and knees, you can just simply start to reach your left foot out behind. Keep your toes on the floor. We'll pause here for a little stretch in our calf muscle. Press the toes down, press back, driving the heel back. Keep your hips level. So if you lifted one hip up, keep that hip facing down towards the floor. Draw on your core, lift through the neck, keep your spine long. Now, if you wish, you can lift the toes off the floor and reach that right hand out in front. Take a big breath in here. And as you exhale, slowly draw elbow and knee together. We'll do that 5 more times. Inhaling, reaching long. Exhaling, drawing in. Reach as long as you can on that horizontal plane, pressing back through that left heel firmly. Do that 3 more times. Slowly lower hand, lower knee, prepare for the other side. When you're ready, just start by bringing the ball mound of that right foot to the floor. Press back through the right heel. Press firmly back and down, driving that heel towards the floor. It won't touch, but that's how you'll activate and get the most benefit for your stretch. Make any adjustments you need to. If you choose, you can lift that back leg. Keep the hips level to the best of your ability, and then reach that left hand out in front. We're going to go knee to elbow, exhaling. Inhale, repeat for 5. And after you've completed that 5th one, you can lower hand, lower knee, just come up off of the wrists a minute. You can untuck the toes and just sit flat on the tops of the feet. That'll give your ankles a nice stretch. And we'll go ahead and just clasp the hands and roll out the wrists for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wonderful job. Gently shake out the wrists. All right, so you can go ahead and grab a block. We're going to move into a little bit of a glute strengthening exercise. This is also going to be great for helping to stabilize and strengthen the lower back. And it's going to get us warmed up for a gentle back bend coming your way soon. You're just going to simply take this block and just squeeze it between your calf and hamstring, pressing the heel towards the ceiling. So I'm going to start with my left leg, and I'm just going to press the heel gently for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to press and hold and just gently pulse here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to slowly set that knee down and switch. Grab that block. Bring it over to the other leg, gently squeeze. I'm going to press up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then I'm going to lift and hold and just gently pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Gently remove that block. All right, go ahead and straighten one leg out behind. Just curl and flick the toes like a cat or a dog that stretches one leg at a time out behind it. Do that a couple of times. Get that blood flowing all the way down. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and cross right ankle over the left. I'm going to bring my right hand a little closer towards the midline. So it's not right directly under my shoulder. It is, but just slightly favoring the middle of my mat. I'm going to reach back with my left hand and grab hold of the top of the foot, ankle, or shin. Then I'm going to activate this right leg and press the right foot up behind me. It's going to open my chest. I'm going to look over this left shoulder and press my right heel towards the ceiling. Slowly, I'm going to look back down to that right hand thumb, release the hand, release the foot, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. This time I'm going to go ahead and cross my left ankle or left foot over top of my right ankle. I'm going to gently walk that left hand in towards the midline, just an inch or two. I'm going to reach back. Right hand grabs the top of left foot, ankle, or shin. And then the whole action really comes with this left leg driving the back bend, pressing that left heel up towards the ceiling like we just did, and then looking over that right shoulder. Breathe. Steady your breath here. Slowly look back down, release the foot, release the hand, and we're going to go ahead and just take a little rest in child's pose. Knees can be wide, toes tucked or untucked. Shift the weight back, relax the forehead down, hips over top of heels. When you're ready, gently press the floor away. Go ahead and come back forward now into a modified plank position, stacking your hands right over top of or right underneath of your shoulders. You got your knees on the floor. This is sort of like a modified push-up position. All right, we're going to keep the elbows in really close to our side body, and we're going to gently lower down, bending at the elbows, keeping the spine straight, sucking the belly in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Keeping those hands right underneath the shoulders. Pull the elbows into the side body. Gently widen your legs. Press the hips down, sucking the belly up and in. And inhale, lift head, neck, and chest for our first cobra pose. Shoulder blades pointed together, neck reaching long, eye gaze turned up, and exhale, lower down. We're going to do 2 more of those. Same thing, lift head, neck, and chest. Maybe a little more help from the hands this time. Shoulders back and down. If the shoulders are squished up around the ears, intentionally roll them back and down, lower down a little more. When you're ready, exhale, release. One more time, big breath in. And exhale, rise up into your version of that cobra pose, Bhujangasana. And release. And then slowly press it up and back, hips over heels. child's pose or puppy pose with the knees together, arms long. Forearms can be lifted off the mat, or you can gently bring the arms back with the forearms down, your choice. When you're ready, walk your hands forward, come back into that modified plank. If you wish, you could lift the knees and be in a full plank here. All we're going to do is just bring a deep bend in the knees, start to walk our toes in a couple of inches. Your feet should be about hip distance apart or have roughly 2 fist distance between them. And we're going to come into our first downward facing dog here. Keep gripping the floor with the hands, pull the elbows in towards your midline. Let the head and neck relax. Start to pedal out the legs, straightening one leg while bending the other. And then when you're ready, gently walk or hop your feet forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, keep your spine long, shoulder blades pulled together. And then exhale, relax. Lower the upper body down. Release the fingers to the floor, or if you have those blocks, they are always so useful. So many different positions. You can let your hands rest on blocks here. Keep a generous bend in the knees so that your lower back is not a little too exposed here or too vulnerable. We'll keep that bend in the knees to protect our lower backs. Still getting warmed up here. And then when you're ready, inhale, slowly press yourself up. Let the hands rise up last. Big breath in. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, let the hands rest in front of the chest. Great job. If you need to grab a quick drink or make any little adjustments to your clothing or practice area, please do. And then when you're ready, join me at the top of your mat. If you got a couple of blocks, you can bring those with you. So we're going to move through a sun salutation and standing series. I'll probably get us into a balancing pose, and then we'll just see what we got time for after that. Hopefully we'll be able to have some time on the ground for some forward folds and hip openers. So we'll go ahead and start at the top of our mat here. Now that our course has been charted for today's class, just stand with your feet about hip distance apart and just start to just gently move forward and back. Balls of the feet back to the heels. Just do that several times. And then when you're ready, just settle in. Lift the arches of your feet by activating those outside edges, pressing down. Gently pick up the shoulders, relax them back and down. And when you're ready, you're with your next exhalation. Just gently bring the hands to touch in Anjali Mudra, that position of prayer and peace and gratitude in front of the heart. Inhale, stretch the hands up high. If you want, you can take a little back bend by pressing the hips forward, engaging the glutes. Exhale, hinge from your hips and gently fold forward. Fingertips towards the floor. Gently shaking the head out, yes and no. Inhale up halfway again, flat back. Exhale, relax the hands slowly down. And then when you're ready, slowly step your right foot back and lower that right knee to the mat. You can stay right here in a low runner's lunge. If you want to, you can grab your blocks and bring hands to blocks for a little more support. You can do so again with blocks and start to come upright. Or if you wish, you could bring the hands overhead or in front of the heart. Those are just a number of options. If you have something else, please, this is your practice, your body. So what we're really going to try and do is target this hip flexor and quad on the right side. All right, so we're going to keep our core engaged. We're going to keep our body upright. I'm going to just gently crawl that left foot forward, and I'm not going to dump into the floor here and just drop my hips unintentionally. I'm going to scoop my pelvis and slowly ease my hips forward, and that's where I'm really going to activate my maximum stretch for hip flexor and quad. I've already expressed or suggested a number of different variation for your hands. So just find somewhere now where the hands can comfortably rest while you explore that hip flexor stretch. One last thing to pay attention to are your hips, these ball and socket joints here. We want to make sure that our hips are sort of aligned like headlights on a car. We don't want one like way into our bumper or back into the headlight compartment. We want to keep everything sort of level here. So if you notice that one hip is drawing back and the other one's forward and they're not really square, just go ahead and take a moment and square your hips. You could even really deeply bend the knee, making this a little more dynamic, and then just gently start to straighten that front leg, maybe pulling the toes off the ground for a little dynamic hamstring stretch, sometimes called half split. And then you could slowly place the foot back down, gently ease the hips forward again, engage in the pelvis, keep the core strong. And you can do that several more times. If you'd like to just take the time to explore that low lunge, feel free. These are just some options to make your practice a little more dynamic. And the next time you're in that low runner's lunge, go ahead and walk your hands up to frame that front foot. If your back foot's not already engaged with the toes on the floor, go ahead and do so. And then we're going to step this front foot back into a downward facing dog. This time, go ahead and drive the heels into the floor. Keep a little micro bend in the knees. Hug the elbows together. Let the head and neck just relax here, chin towards chest. Inhale forward into a plank. Exhale, lower down slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips plant, toes untucked, hands under the front of shoulders. Slowly rise up your back bend, either little cobra or upward facing dog with the knees lifted off the floor, shoulders back and down, pressing firmly into the tops of the feet and hands. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, rise, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up high behind, coming into a 3-pointed dog. Keep the hips square, press through that heel, and then slowly lower the left foot down. Do the same on the other side, reaching that right leg up high behind. And then slowly step the right foot forward in between the hands. Soften that left knee down into a low runner's lunge. Find an appropriate place for your hands. Square off the hips. And we'll prepare for this sequence for this time, the left hip flexor and quad. So you can stay right here, as I've already suggested, or you can walk that right foot forward and just gently engage through the pelvis. Lower the hips down. Keep your core tight. My favorite part, remember to breathe. If you want to move into that dynamic stretch, you can start to straighten the front leg. You might have to scoot your left knee back. Straighten the front leg, peel the toes off the floor. Don't hyperextend this straightened leg. And then slowly lower down, gently shift the hips forward. Keep those hips square. And you can repeat that about a half a dozen times or so. When you're ready, go ahead and set your blocks to the side. If you're using those, frame that front foot with the hand, tuck the back toes, and step the back foot forward, standing forward, fold. Inhale up halfway, rise. Exhale, hinge from the hips and release. Inhale, stack the vertebrae like a strand of pearls, standing tall, lifting the hands. Exhaling, hands rest in front of the chest. Very good. We're going to go ahead and slowly bring our hands down, step our right foot back, and we're going to turn and ground the right foot down so we have a heel to heel alignment between our feet. I'm going to keep a deep bend in this front leg, which is my left leg, and then I'm going to rise to stand. I'm going to turn the torso to face the camera, and I'm in the foundation of my Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Couple different hand variations. You could just keep the hands on your hips for a little stability and support, or you can start to work into the shoulders, stretching your arms out, reaching through fingertips. Now pay attention to what's going on in your torso, your solar plexus, your core. Engage the core by gently tucking the tailbone under, and imagine there was like a zipper right here under your belly button that you're going to zip all the way up. Start with just a little bend in the front leg and then straighten. Bend in the front leg, bend a little deeper, and then straighten. Make sure that this knee tracks right over top of the big toe towards the pinky toe side, and then straighten. Want this knee to be basically right over the ankle, and then straighten. Do that twice more. We don't want the knee to collapse too far towards the inside. That would be a little unsafe for the knee. Take up a little more space on your mat. Hold in this Warrior 2 position. And slowly come down to extended side angle. Option 1, you can bring left forearm on top of the left leg. You can reach this right arm out in a long diagonal line. Don't dump down and relax too hard into that left arm. It's going to really tighten up the shoulder. Instead, keep that broadness and that opening across the chest as you reach that right hand up and overhead. Pull that right shoulder back so you're looking underneath right bicep, or turn the eye gaze down to that left foot. If you want to challenge yourself a little further here, you could reach both hands so the arms are parallel. When you're ready, exhale back up into Warrior 2. Now we're going to start to straighten this front leg. Slowly inch that back foot in, maybe actually walk it in like almost a full foot. All right, especially if you were taking up a lot of space. We're going to move into a triangle pose, which is a wonderful hip opening stretch and side body stretch. So I'm going to keep just a small bend in this front leg. I'm going to gently press my hips back towards what we're calling the back of my mat, or that right foot. All right, I still have my same alignment, heel to heel. And then I'm just going to slowly, I'm actually going to grab a block for this one. I might even need 2 blocks. I'm going to slowly start to reach my left fingertips down towards my left shin. Maybe I can rest that hand on a block. All right, more importantly, I want to focus on what's going on with the hips. So hips press back, hips gently press forward. There's sort of like an openness in the hips here. And then I'm slowly hinging from this side body here, forward and down. Right hand's going to reach up towards the ceiling. And as you press this hip forward, you're going to feel that big opening through your right side body. Anchor back and down through that right heel. See if you can stay here for about 4 or 5 more breaths. Inhale, rise, bring a little bend in that front leg, reverse warrior, lift the left hand up, press the right hand back and down. Slowly lower the hands. We're going to come onto the ball mound of that back foot, and we're going to step forward, and we're going to keep this right foot lifted. If you've got a tap, that's fine, but we're going to try and come right into our tree pose from here. So I'll turn to face you, but you're still at the top of your mat facing forward. And I'm going to turn and open this hip, and I'm going to place my foot below or above the knee joint. You could also come all the way down, toes to floor here. Again, keep the hips squared. We're not collapsing from one side to the other. Our hips are strong, our core is engaged, and you've got a comfortable place where you can rest. You're pressing your foot and calf or foot and quad together to create some stability. Your hands can do whatever they want to do. They can just rest on your hips, hang by your side, grow like branches of a tree out wide, or rest in front of the chest. When you're ready, you reach that right knee up, slowly place that left foot back down. We're going to do the same sequence on the other side. So I'm going to come to the other side of my mat so I can still kind of relatively face you here. So let's see, this time we're going to step with our, let's see, how did I do it last time? I got to think a second. Yeah, so we're going to step with our right foot back, right? Or no, our left foot. Hold on. This is what I miss having people in class. There's always someone to help keep me straight. Let's see, so we're just in triangle with our right foot back. Yes, so our left foot will be back. Thank you. Thank you. I can hear you from afar, guiding me in the right direction. So we're going to step back up the top of our mat. We're going to take a big step back in that runner's lunge, turn and ground our left foot down. All right, I'm going to bring a block up just for my next sequence coming up. And we're going to come into that warrior 2 with our left foot back and our right foot forward. So I've got that heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. All right, I'm going to turn and open the hips. I'm going to keep this knee tracking over center of the ankle, maybe even just favoring the pinky toe edge slightly. I'm going to rise here into that warrior 2, same little adjustment, gentle scoop of the pelvis, zippering up through the core, take up more space than you think. You can bring that bend into the knee and then gently straighten. Do that about 5 or 6 more times. Preparing for that extended side angle. We're going to bring that deep bend in the front leg, right forearm to right quad or thigh, and then slowly reach that left hand on a long diagonal line. We're not leaning a lot of body weight into this right arm. We're just gently resting right forearm on thigh. Keep your heart open here, pulling the shoulder blades back. You can look up at that left bicep or down towards the floor. If you wish, you could challenge yourself a little bit and reach both hands out long. When you're ready, come back through your warrior two. Slowly start to straighten that front leg. Walk your back foot up considerably, keeping that same alignment with the feet. Hands on hips. We're going to come into triangle here, pressing that left hip back towards the wall behind you. Keep the chest open. Stay long. Keep pressing this part of your hip forward while anchoring down through that left heel. Got a block ready should I need it. I do like to use a block here. And then I'm going to slowly ease down into that right hand while simultaneously opening through the chest, lifting that left arm high. You can look down if you want to give your neck a little break here. When you're ready, slowly bring a deep bend in that front leg, rise into reverse warrior. Exhale, let the hands frame that front foot, come onto the ball mount of the back foot, and prepare to step forward. So you're going to step forward and lift that left knee and come right into tree pose. Foot above or below the knee joint. You can always kickstand, toes on the floor, making a heel to ankle connection. Hands and arms can do whatever is comfortable. When you're ready, lift the left knee, place the left foot down. Step with your feet just outside of shoulder width. Turn your heels in, turn your toes out slightly. We're going to come down into Malasana, the yogic squat. This is a great hip opener and leg strengthener. So you can bring your hands in front of your chest, keep your chest lifted, and just slowly bend at the knees. Inhale on your way down. Exhale on your way down. Inhale, hold. And exhale, hold. Slowly lower down. See, that wasn't so cool. We're going to come on down to our mats to sit with our legs out in front. You might like to have like a cushion or a blanket or something to kind of tuck underneath of your sitting bones, especially if you've got a really tight lower back situation. You might also, if it's appropriate for you and you think you need it, you can grab some blocks and create a little bend in the knees, and that'll alleviate some pinching or tightness in the lower back. We're going to move into Paschimottanasana, the standard seated forward fold. And we're going to do so by just kind of lifting the sitting bones, getting them all in position. Make sure we're seated nice and tall on those sitting bones. Inhale, reach the hands high. And then exhale, hinge from the hips and fold forward, grabbing a hold of feet, shins, or letting the hands come under the backs of the knees. You might be able to comfortably grab your toes, but don't worry if you can't. Most importantly, try and keep your back straight here. Do your best to avoid rounding through the spine. Once you find your optimal forward fold, just stay here for a few breaths. Inhale when you're ready, hands reach up high overhead. Exhale, hands lowered back down. So we're going to go ahead and come to rest on our backs next. Go ahead and just take a moment and hug the knees in towards the chest. Give that lower back a nice little stretch. Just gently rock side to side a moment. And we're going to actually bring the soles of the feet together. And if you have those blocks, bring those blocks either on their medium or lowest setting. We'll just rest here in this butterfly stretch to close our practice. Of course, we're just closing for our own technical time constraints. If you want to rest here longer, please feel free. If you have a couple additional poses you want to work into your practice, now is a great time. But if you wish, you're welcome to join us here now in this butterfly stretch. You can dim your lights or just close your eyes, get comfortable, and we'll just be here for about another minute or so. Let your jaw be relaxed. Let your face remain soft. Eyes softly closed. You can invite a little swallow in the throat or just gently cough to clear the throat so your neck and throat can relax. If you need to, you can pick up the shoulders, drop the arms by your side by picking them up, lowering them down, just letting them be. Any last little movements you need, invite those in now. And then just join me for about another 30 to 60 seconds of total silence and stillness. When you're ready, you can stretch your arms up and overhead. Gently stretch your legs, point through the toes, take one full body stretch. And then slowly just roll over onto your side. You're welcome to rest here as long as you need. If you wish, you can join me in a seated position. Finding that comfortable seat. Just take a few deep breaths to relax. Let your body stay soft and at ease. And if you're joining me in that seated position, you can bring the hands to touch in front of the chest. We'll close our class with one last full breath in and out together, exhaling completely. Enjoy one nice community deep breath in. And exhale, just let it go. Hariom, Om Tat Sat, Shalom, Shanti. Peace, may you go with peace. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next.